Hi, it's Karen.
And Tim.
From Stamping on the Back Porch. Welcome to another episode.
Karen and Tim Live.
I had been with my mom yesterday, and then I came home and we did this quick Facebook Live. And, you know, one of you Floridians was telling me about that school shooting. I said, that is just so sad. I hadn't even heard the news, so I heard that. So anyway, our hearts go out to all the people. This violence is just so sad.
Stamping on the Back Porch?
Yeah, we're on Stamping on the Back Porch while Tim looks. But to move on, I have some happy mail. I always love to share happy mail from you guys.
You want to wait just a second, let a few more people come on?
I don't know. Tim thinks we should wait. But we are heading out as soon as possible after this. So we'll see. I might be very disorganized.
We were leaving right away, but...
we were going to leave right away, but yeah.
She says as soon as possible, which means by 3 o'clock. 4 o'clock.
And you know, we are doing events in Appleton and in Oak Forest, and then we're also doing some vacationing with our grandkids, so it's going to be very fun. But
as hard as we work with our grandkids, it's not.
Yeah, yes, that's exhausting, but great fun.
Vacation is leaving.
But we love it, and so I know I'm going to see some of you that I have never met before, so I'm really excited about that. That's going to be really fun.
Karen,
and yes, Tim is excited about that. And
we are going to meet. I'm going to be. You know, I can't just drop Karen off at a party.
No, can't do that anymore. He's just part of the show now, so it's all good. And I had to also prepare for Monday night's class because we'll be doing that from there. So I've had a few things here to catch up, and I hope I remember things. The hardest thing for me about traveling and doing things is if you forget something, you can't go 5 blocks, you know, to home to get it. So thanks everyone, saying safe travels and have fun. So that's fabulous. Okay, I think...
Who's on? Who's on?
Oh, a whole bunch of people. Tammy, Deb, I can't go back. Christine, Linda, Kathy, Judy, Kathy, Renee, Venetia, Connie, Deborah. Oh, thank you. Thank you all. I'm going to show you a few really great cards. This is from Nona. Let's see. Nona, I have to look at her last name. Felix. Oh, in Pittsburgh, California. Oh, over by Mary's. So Nona's one of my downline that I've never met. That is recruited under Tim's sister Mary, which is really awesome. I look forward to meeting all these people as we travel. Look at this adorable thank you card she sent me for sending her the calendars that I sent for my downline. We'll get it closer. But I love how she did that heartfelt blossoms right on the wood textures paper, that lighter color. Isn't that stunning? And do you know, I have this ribbon, and I have never used it yet. I think that's just a gorgeous card. Thank you. Thank you, Nona. And then I have 2 Valentines. One from...
excuse me. We have 2
We have 2... I mustn't forget. They are all...
Tim and Karen.
Or Karen. And he always checks that because he opens them if his name is on them. So you just have to know that. He checks them ahead of time.
Yes, I do.
And I only get to open them if it just says Karen. Isn't that great? This was from Jane Lennox from Janesville. And we'll be going through Janesville. So I said, well, I'll meet you sometime. But is that just cute? A slant card, one of those that comes down like that, and then just filled with hearts on both sides so you see it going that way. Oh, darling card. Oh, and another one from Diane Fidlin. Love the Hershey Kisses. That is just... This is from a punch that we used to sell, and I just still love that punch. I love those little kisses, and look, she's got the little tag there with the little vellum with the silver sticking out. Love these cards. Oh, it's so fun to get. I haven't had Valentine's cards in years, so it's just fun to get some. That was very fun. And we also got a Valentine gift, actually. It's from Vanessa Human. And she said she meant to send it at Christmas, but now it would be a Valentine's gift. You know, well, you know, how fun to get a Valentine's gift. How cute is this? So our first new ornament for, and this doesn't even need a tree. We're just going to find a place to hang it. And being a quilter, I love this kind of, just see how it's all little fabric there.
Star quilt.
And it's, yeah, it's like a little star quilt. And then the lovely bird. Thank you, Vanessa. How fun is this? Oh, you guys are so sweet. I appreciate all the comments. And hi, Donna, Debbie, Karen, no, Karen, Rose. Okay. So today, I just decided it would be easy and fun to just kind of talk about coloring. I titled this 8 Ways to Color, but I have no idea how many there are. So we're just going to play. You know, this is just playtime. And then I'm going to finish the cards on my blog tomorrow. I'm going to make them all alike because I know sometimes I get asked, now what inks do I use for what and what is the look? Oh, Renee is spending her birthday with us. Oh, how fun, Renee. And I just met Renee on Saturday, so how fun is that? Yeah, that star quilt is adorable. Vanessa, everyone loves your thing, so wonderful. We're such last-minute packers, you know, it's just kind of a... But, okay,
but
so...
you know what, though? I got all my CDs packed.
Yeah, he got his priority.
I do.
I haven't seen any luggage bags to grab things in, but...
No underwear and socks, but I got my CDs.
Yeah, but he's got the important things, the CDs, so... And that's important, because I like to read and doze in the car, so he can drive.
Second most important thing, Karen?
Yeah?
My books.
His books, that's right. Going on vacation with us means a whole lot of stopping to read, and people watch and talk at coffee shops, and it's just and use bookstores. So Holly was just cracking up saying, well, it's not all that far to Appleton. I said, oh no, we just want to get there so we have tomorrow to enjoy exploring the city. That's the pace at which we travel, so it's all good.
Yes, it is.
And so I'm using the Petite palette, so we're going to use just this one stamp today, different ways. And you can't even see. I won't show that. I didn't even put the sticker on. Sometimes I don't do that. Sometimes I do. Tim, I think we might as well bring it down. We're really... Somebody's saying happy birthday, Lee. Is it your birthday too? Oh my goodness, if we have a few birthdays. Okay, well, Sylvia Francis, wonderful. This is the host code. I will just leave it here. Remember, you can always find that by just going to KarenTitus.com or stampingonthebackporch.com. And this month's card kit uses the Petal palette, really the framelets, and then you get another fun card. So, and I've been showing a bunch of different things to do with this. So a set like this is fun because you can enjoy coloring it. And, you know, I often get asked, what inks do I use and this and that? So we're going to start with some different ways. First way we are going to do, boy, here's where to post your birthday, you guys. We should do that for the whole week. And, you know, I send cards if you message me your address. I need your address, even if you know I have it, because I don't look it up. I always just have a stack of cards ready to go because I love to send out birthday cards. So the first thing I'm going to do is direct to the stamp. I am using Always Artichoke, which is a color I realized I haven't used much lately. I used to use it a lot, so sometimes it's just fun to bring out something else we haven't done in a while. Let's see, I think that's a little one there, and I think that's one. And then I'm using Cherry Cobbler, and I am going to do the... Tim, you can read comments if there are, because, you know, this is the putziest coloring. My others aren't so...
I'm actually working on my project. I'm doing it last minute.
Oh.
I can't.
You know, there's that saying, a woman can always change your mind, and Tim has decided so can men. So
that's right.
Good. Okay. So now that I've colored this in, I'm going to blow on it, because that kind of reactivates the moisture. And then this is telling if we have any parts that I missed. Oh, yep. Lee and Renee are both getting lots of things. Thank you for sharing, Connie. It helps us. And Karen, it helps us so much when you guys share video. So look how pretty this is. This could be in any color, and it's done. Now, you also know I've showed cards where it's just done in black. Let's see if I have one like here. So I just want to point that out. You can also just do it in black, not color it. Here, this one is just colored this way.
Could you do that machine that heats it up with that?
If I put powder on this, Tim is wondering, if it stayed wet enough and I put powder on it right away, yes, you could emboss this.
Emboss, that's it.
Okay, now I'm going to do this one more time. I guess this time will change a little bit, but we aren't going to do that. So I guess there's way more than 8 ways, you know, but
the only real technical term that sticks with me is stinkawella. Thanks to Karen. Stinkawella. And fussy cut. I love fussy cut.
Yes. Well, this one we could fussy cut. This is the stamp that I used. Some of you might remember. I cut out.
Oh, that's right. You did.
Like 60 of these for a card swap. And somebody said, did you forget to order the the Thinlits? And I'd forgotten. Oh, of course I hadn't. I'd forgotten it came with Thinlits. So that was pretty sad. You know, they were sitting right here, unused. I just did it the slow way. So, I shaky little table here.
Just shows Karen's enthusiasm.
You can hear my other little coloring things here. Okay, so now I'm going to do this one. And what I'm going to do, oh, you can see I missed a few parts because I'm going quickly, but that's okay. Now I'm going to use a blender pen and quickly while it's still wet. Now the green doesn't color as much as, I can go right into the red here. Look at this red, how that really turns into almost like a little watercolor wash. Each color makes it different. So some just really give a lot of color, and some, like you'll notice that green, don't give a lot of color. So it's something you might want to test if there's a look you're going for. But I think this is really pretty. Just an extra thing you can do with your blender pens. Connie is asking, Tim, how long have you been stamping cards?
How long have we been doing this?
Have you? As long as we've been doing the show. Because he did not stamp before. And he still doesn't stamp, except when he's when he's on. And I'm going to add words to these. But do you see the difference? One is just looks almost watercolored, but they're just those colors.
But that doesn't make me a stamping diva.
Oh, Tammy, I wish you could see tomorrow. Some people just have to work on weekends, right? Or I guess it's a Friday night, but another time, love to see you. Okay, so here are 2 ways. And then next, I'm going to use, let's see, these. Okay, this is done with Memento pads. That's why I just had to make little notes here so I would remember. Memento pad is my favorite. It's my go-to black ink. I absolutely love it. And it is perfect for everything. It cleans off easily. It's perfect for everything except you can't get it wet. So that would be the difference. But I do love this ink. Okay, so we're going to do 2 things with this. Now, since we can't get it wet, and I'm only going to start these because then I'll finish them and put the finished things on. This is just to kind of show some of the different ways. So I can just use markers. That is perfect for this. Of course. While I'm doing this, you guys tell me your favorite way to color. Does anyone on here have favorite? You know, we've got the pencils, the aqua painter. I'm just going to do the flowers here because we're just kind of going for the different looks. And then Memento is also perfect for the blends. I don't know how many of you have blends, and some of you might not even like to color. I said, you know, some people like to fussy cut, some hate to fussy cut. It is just kind of fun. This I'm going to just put all over, and I should have maybe taken a lighter color to give you a better feel. But do you see how just different the colors are? And I could just scribble over this, but I kind of like to go around with the... Okay, so these are the inks you would use with a Memento pad. And all these will go on my blog tomorrow, and it'll just say what was used next to them. Because this is kind of fun, the totally different looks that you get. Okay, now we're going to go for the where we can get them wet. And for this, you can use the archival, but I will tell you, I use the archival to emboss on this, but you could also use black powder. But I actually use StazOn, and we do not sell it anymore. And it is the one thing I tell my customers you want to pick up somewhere, because StazOn is just so much easier. I wish we would bring it back. This is just slower drawing. You just have to be, you know, more cautious with it. But this, the black Stampin' Up! Just is not my favorite. Just telling you that. Yep, that is the difference. This you could use as a regular black ink, but I wouldn't, because, you know, it is permanent. It just gets messier, but it's also slow drying. You know, the Memento I just love. So if I'm just stamping in plain black, I'm going to use either the markers or the new blends. I would use Memento. So now I'm just going to show you, this is what I would use, this or StazOn from the store. You really don't need to buy this. You can just get StazOn, okay? So one of these, this is what we can get wet. So then one would be watercolor pencils. Now I could use watercolor pencils if I'm not going to get them wet and do any shading. That would be fine. You know, with the other, let's do, we're kind of sticking with mostly somewhat similar colors. I think I'll do a little bit more of that. And I'm only going to do a little bit here because I actually would like to shade this, and I forgot to bring out a darker color. So here, now I have my blend, my stamp and blend, just like I used on the other one. And you can see how I can take this, and I'll color around, and this turns into a watercolor. I'm going to work on this a little more afterwards because I'm going to add a second color. So you can see it's easy to get some fun shading with this. But I love to use the watercolor pencils. And Stampin' Up! Has a great, has a great set of them. And you can mix and match and shade. So I'm going to want to go back and add a little darker to these flowers. Okay? And then the other thing with this, I can watercolor with this. So now this is where my blender pen might come in. Or not my blender pen, but the aqua painter, because I love to watercolor here. So let's just take, so here I'm going to take my aqua painter. I'm going to finish those, and I try to not get them messy. And did you see that I just squeezed this so that I get color in the bottom? If I'm going to do a whole bunch, I will usually take a few drops of refill and put it on one of the clear blocks, because you can just do more. You don't have to keep squeezing it. If I'm just going to do a little, I just do this. Yes, Connie, my grandkids do stamp and make cards with me. And we're kind of the crafting grandparents, so we also bring other craft projects and things to build. That's kind of, at our house, when grandkids stay here, we have a magic closet. So there's always something new to do in the closet in the morning. So we actually bring the traveling closet to them because that's a big deal. So every day we have a new craft or thing to make or build. Or
our son-in-law refers to us as the hippie.
Yeah,
hippie
we're the hippie parents from back in the day, and we still just kind of do all this creative stuff. So that's great. No, now I am not using Memento. Here I have used StazOn or the basic black. So these are the two different inks. So that's what's important about this. So if you have StazOn, do that. If you have the black, you can do that. Just let it dry. And I stamped all these ahead of time just so that they would dry and be perfectly. Okay, so here I can just go ahead now and paint with this. When I'm using this kind of a thing, if I think, oh, that's too dark or I got too much ink, just blot it up. But I can go back with this too and do shading. Do you see how it's getting lighter there in the middle? Because now I have more water. I'm going to do a little more with that. And even though I'm just using one color, because it's just going to keep getting lighter and lighter, and then I can come back and add some dark. Okay, so I'm going to make that light. I'll add a little more. I love this kind of coloring because you can just feel creative, even if you don't think you are. It's just kind of fun, because you get these different looks. But isn't that cool? Oh, I might as well do the other one while I'm at it here.
Did you tell them how you could
So
get
if I start, yeah.
Good.
I was wondering, maybe you wanted to share that, and
I know.
I stole your show and tell?
Yes, you did. I've got my own show and tell.
He's got his own show and tell. But isn't that pretty? I love watercolor. That I would say that's just one of my favorites. It's quick. If I had a dozen of these cards, look how quickly I did that whole one. It didn't take hardly long at all. Oh, good. I'm glad you guys like this. I was trying to think what I could do easy while I'm prepping for all these other things.
Did you hear why I like show and tell so much?
Oh, yeah. We were
Mary
teasing.
and I went to a one-room country schoolhouse that didn't have kindergarten, didn't have show and tell. So I was starved for show and tell.
So now he gets it as an adult, and he loves all of you, primarily women, that will appreciate a show and tell because his family hasn't so much, So we tease him plenty. Now I've gone to embossing. Now to emboss this, that's the other thing you can do with this. I embossed with this and then clear powder right away, and so it embossed nicely. Otherwise, I usually emboss with Versamark. Here, I did this one with Versamark, and then I put gold powder over it. If I put black powder, it would turn black. It's going to be whatever. So good. Pretty, what color ink? Oh, the last one was Melon Mambo. That's right. I'll try to put the ink colors by what I use too, but I absolutely love that look, and it's just so quick. And so even if you're not really a color, I think watercolor is a great way because it's really quick and efficient. Okay, so do the inks make sense? So this one you can do things with. If you have stays on instead of this, those last things work, you wouldn't emboss, I don't think, with stays on, but then you'd use Versamark and a black powder. Anyway, I just wanted to explain the differences, so hopefully that helps and I'm not muddying it. Okay, so now on this one, I'm going to do the same kind of, here I'm going to do the same thing and just show you something that's a little bit different. Now, when it's embossed,
Am I ever going to get my turn?
When it's embossed like this, I can just get this wet first, and the embossed lines really help hold. Look, I'm just going to dab a little ink and let it spread. I guess I didn't get it wet enough. Let me get, whoop, okay, there it is. And it should just kind of spread on its own. I think that's a little probably wet, what I have there. Okay, I'm going to go over here and try another one. That one obviously isn't working. Let's try these two. Okay. And now I'm going to dry this more and then just dab some ink in there. And just see how that's going to kind of just spread. And so what's fun with doing this technique is now I could add, in fact, let's see. I have rich raspberry. Let's try this. This is just play as we go.
Karen's good at that.
So, that's right. And I'm not going to do them side by side just in case they mess. I'll come back and finish this afterwards. Now I'm going to add a little rich raspberry in here. Oh, that's cool. And then I'm going to come back and add a little bit of rich. I got to dry it a little more. And then I'll add a little in here in some of these. And you see how it just sort of adds? So this is going to be an interesting watercolor too. It's a little putzier, but it's just very fun. And again, you're going to get really different looks. So you'll see up close. Here, I'll do one more. Let me do this. Let me do these right here. So I'm going to put some pink in there and pink in there. I'm going to dry this a little bit. I'll put this color in there, and I'll put a little of that there, and I'll put a little of that there, so it kind of blends. It's actually looking really pretty. Oh, yeah, Connie's asking about your sister. You know, I was saying that Mondays are kind of family day because his sister Mary has a live. She starts at 6 our time, and then we go live at 6:30, and then I have my class at 7:30. So you can kind of spend the night with the Tituses. Mary lives in California, and she is the oldest. She has 4 younger brothers. So in a 3-bedroom house back in the day, she got her own room, and all 4 brothers shared. That's what people did. Mm-hmm. And now everyone thinks every child needs their own room. I think, boy, how times have changed. That's not great. So how fun is this? So this is going to be a very different look too. And like I said, before we leave, I am going to just finish these and take pictures so we can do a blog post tomorrow to explain this in more detail. And that was really, and then, you know, you can do it with any color. So that I'm going to put Tim on, because then I'm going to do some things with the paper with coloring too. So, but we'll put Tim on here.
Oh, am I only doing one thing today?
Yes.
Okay.
Because mostly it's putting names on catalogs and packing.
Yes.
For me. And I'd say Tim's doing a redo today, really.
I am. I'm doing an addition. No hat, no scarf, just a regular shirt. So it's getting to be spring in Minnesota. I'm looking forward to this trip, primarily because we bought a different car. Yeah, what is she saying?
Oh, it's not spring. Holly's saying in the other room as she's under her Sherpa blanket working on the computer.
Holly's in the other room yelling out.
And as soon as we leave, that heat's getting cranked.
Karen and I bought a 2011 Kia Soul, and it's just beautiful. And it's from Tennessee, clean, beautiful car. And I'm excited. It's my first fob.
It's actually also our first car with under 100,000 miles ever. It only has 53 and it's a single owner. So this is really considered new to us.
It is.
New experience.
I could actually say it's a new car. More than just to me. It just came off the parking lot, or the sales lot. Okay, let's do this. Okay. This is my journal, and it's weird how timing is perfect. I finished my other journal like yesterday. So I'm ready to move on to my new one. But there's something wrong with this.
Did you read the title to them of this? This one really fits the title. I like
Exciting thoughts and happening ideas. Isn't that good?
Perfect for Tim, yes. Okay.
And it's empty, so when you see it finished, it'll be full of all kinds of exciting thoughts and happening ideas. I did this a week ago. It's a little stark, a little too much. I gotta mellow it out. So I'm going to mellow it out.
You just wasn't happy with it. Have you guys ever had that happen?
If I'm not happy, nobody's happy. Okay? Something like that. Okay, bring it out.
We're the good role reversals here.
Gold. Now, I was going to go get my paring knife, but I'll see if I can get this off. This is the same adhesive back. Tim Titus bone folder. Paring knife, please. Paring knife, please. I don't have fingernails. You can't get these?
The pokey things are all packed. So.
Well, just get me. I love my paring knives. They work. Oh, you know what? No, I don't. Yes, I do. Forget it, Karen.
Okay. What's your new plan?
Swiss Army knife.
Oh, yes.
I was in 4-H, but I was never in the Cub Scouts, Boy Scouts, nothing like that.
But you were in the Army.
But I was in the Army, so there you go. Now, I've decided that I'm going to just offset this a little bit.
People are wondering if you cut your thumb. Do you have a Band-Aid on? Or
No, it's these things.
Oh, yeah. It's the dry weather.
Yeah,
healing.
and this one's worse than this one.
That's okay, Tim. We don't need close-ups on that. It's really too much information.
This one's actually bleeding. So.
I'm sorry you asked, and I'm sorry I read it out loud. So.
Yeah. Okay. Timothy Wayne.
We're using those Band-Aids that you guys sent us. Remember?
Yes.
I sent us all these Band-Aids. So Tim decided
Timothy Wayne. Timothy Wayne Titus, named after my father. And
since since sometimes he refers to himself as a twit, that's what they'll say. So we even looked it up to make sure it did fit him. But he was like foolish man. I thought, yeah, he can call himself that. I don't know that people can. That kind of fits. So we fondly tease him that.
Yes, we do. Oops, I'm sorry. But look at that. That's starting. Okay.
It is. I agree. It looks better.
Isn't this nice? It's starting to look like something I'd be proud of. Okay. The last T, which stands for Titus, and I lost it.
And this is kind of a good point, because I think sometimes, especially if you scrapbook, I think sometimes you're working on a layout and it just doesn't click, but a card can be the same. And sometimes just leaving it for a while and coming back and mulling over it, you think of a way to improve it. So that's pretty fun.
And in Minnesota, we dress this way. It's called layering.
Yes.
Layering.
So it's a theme here. It's Minnesota themed.
No. It's a little crooked, but you know what?
You can live with that.
I can live with that.
All right.
Beautiful? Or what? Or what? Timothy Wayne Titus, short for Twit. And I will be filling this in on our trip to Chicago. Okay?
Yeah, for him, there's nothing like starting a new journal, and always shopping for the clearance racks at half price is where he gets his journals.
This was half price
so
for $10.
It's his agenda.
Clearance for $3.
And when we go to thrift stores, he's looking for Jerry Garcia ties because he has a collection of those too. So, it's those fun little things in life.
And Jerry Garcia, for all you older people, is, well, they're the people that should know. Grateful Dead. He was the lead singer for the Grateful Dead.
How many?
And his middle finger was cut off. Played the guitar anyway.
Yeah.
And
Julie's saying that the picture's so much sharper since we moved off the grid paper. And, that's something that Holly had noticed. And I'm really glad that's making a difference. Because she said when there's grid paper, it's like the camera has a hard time figuring out where to focus. So that really helps. So thanks, guys. And so then I just wanted to share the black and white paper that comes in this set is just... stunning too. So I just thought we'd show a couple of quick ways that this could also be colored. Now, of course, you can do the watercolor pencils again or the markers, but I just wanted to show how pretty this is with the Stampin' Blends. The thing about the blends, like if I were trying to do this with a marker, you'd see a lot more lines on the blue in between. And the blends, you just can smooth that all out. So this is just solid colors. There's no shading. There's no anything. Oh, Renee's husband also has the Jerry Garcia dies. That's great. Yeah, Tim has quite a few. So our daughter, because he was trying to wear one of them with one of his jackets, our daughter says, Dad, you need to get some plain sweaters. Nothing you have goes with those busy ties. So.
Was that our daughter or was that Holly?
No, it was Leah.
Leah, okay.
But I think Holly backed her up. So, and I just kept my mouth shut. Fashion isn't my thing. We are leaving for Chicago as soon as possible. We don't know, but I'm going to finish these cards and then take pictures so they're ready. So then you'll have a review of the different things. I also thought, now look at this. These are just stunning papers. So on this one, I've started coloring with the blends. I'm going to cut this out and turn into a card. So I thought I was just going to do a little bit here to just show you how I work with these. So I'm using the 2 Bermuda Bays and the 2 Pool Parties. So I start with, and you want to just do a small area at a time, you know, so it doesn't dry. It's just easier to get it to kind of blend in. So there's my darkest, that's Bermuda Bay, and then I'm going to come in with some lighter in here. You don't see a whole lot of difference, but I'm just putting that in. And then when it comes to the blending, I actually usually switch to the pointed side. Hi, Tessie and Wanda. Oh, Lou-Reed, you got your birthday off with pay. That is so fabulous. Lou-Reed's real name it's Lee, and her last name is Reed, but I started calling her Lou-Reed when I first saw it, and I still think of her as Lou-Reed. But do you see by doing little swirly motions, I'm just kind of softening the look a little bit. I want there to be enough of a look so you really see the difference. I could work on this more if it mattered. And then I take the lightest one and I'll fill in the rest and then just make sure that that's all just kind of softened. And I can soften it as much as I like. So I'll do a little area here. I can also use the white, the remover. I guess I didn't bring that out there to remove some color if I get too much on here. So now notice where this is. You can see that's really dark here. When I go over it and over it, to see how that just blends into a nice soft look. So I can pick the parts that I really want it blended. So there, it's just going to go lighter. But this is going to be fun. And look at all these flowers that I could cut out here. I could do some leaves and attach to. I could cut that out. You know, this is definitely going to be a little fussy cutting, but I love that look and all these things we can do. And it would also just be nice background paper. But I thought to do something else. You know, these blends are fun. You really feel like an artist when you do them. And then I wanted to show one other kind of way. So here I have a thing. This is for you, non-colorers. Now I'm going to use my sponge brayers here. And I have a couple of light colors. And I just picked these colors. So this is So Saffron. I'm going to roll my brayer and I'm going to just put this on a few places. Okay, you can probably see it there. I'm just going to do that. And I roll it off a little. Well, my other 2 colors I'll use together. They're probably a better choice. Because then I have a little peach, Peekaboo Peach, which is another color. I don't use tons. I'm going to just fill that in a couple places. And I'm getting it, not sure I want it quite that dark, but it's okay. And then, but isn't this pretty? How's this, just a nice kind of soft look. It would look like it's right in the other. Yes, these just come right off the end. You get 2 in a pack, and then there's, I think, 2 other rollers. I just squeeze it under water, air dry, and they're ready to go again. So this is my darkest. So I'm just going to use, I'm not going to change it again because I figure it's not going to matter if I go light to darker. And now here I'm going to put in a little bit different. So I just have an interesting look of colors there, and I could do any kinds of colors. And then with this, I would go back and do the Wink of Stella on the flowers. And you know, this often doesn't pick up that well in a picture, but on Monday night, I will also show these finished cards because we'll just do a little review, and then I'll have a few other, you know, cards with this to show. So then you'll see the finished ones and on my blog tomorrow. So I can finish that afterwards. Okay, normally that's my style. And now if I were going to do this, if you've got a big space, just think you could do your whole 12 by 12 and then cut them. But this is another one that's so easy. Or you could cut them, line them up together. But, you know, this is fast. And I think it's really fun. And you could go for any kind of a tone. And I could have just added one color over part of it, you know, and then left a lot of it white too. So it's just very fun. Hi, Marilyn. I'm going to back to you. And yes, the sponge daubers you could use too. So the point with coloring is, you can use anything, just play with it. So this is just an encouragement to try out some different things and color. So then you'll just see all the differences. So thanks, guys. That's it. We're actually going to go a bit shorter today. So I can get these cards finished and we can get on the road. We just appreciate you guys so much. And
let's talk.
And we'll show the...
Let's just talk about Valentine's Day. How did you... Oh. How was your Valentine's?
Yes.
I got home like a minute after midnight, so my whole evening was without Karen. I still wished her a happy anniversary. Yeah. And I made this really pretty chocolate box.
Yeah, you did that yesterday.
Actually, I actually felt bad that I kind of butchered that piece of chocolate and... kind of made a...
Oh, so you're going to buy me another one on the trip? Is that what you're saying? Oh, okay. Because we didn't eat that one.
I kind of made a joke out of it, you know, and I really should, you know, be much more reverent of this wonderful holiday.
Well, and I had said yesterday that we took my mom out for lunch. They got married just like a day after Valentine's, and even though my dad's been gone now several years, that's just still a hard holiday for her, so it's always fun to do something with her. I mean, we always miss the people we've lost, but isn't that part of the wonder of life too, that you've loved people enough to really miss them forever and think of them? So it's all good. So thanks, guys, and I'm looking forward to meeting a bunch of you for the first time. And you know, we're going to be doing other travels. This is fun.
It is.
Thanks. Jan says it's a shorter video, so she made it through. Usually we go too long. Oh, that's great. And thanks, everyone.
Keep talking. Keep talking.
No. Yeah. We'll see you on Monday from our grandkids' house.
And we're going to have an audience. Seriously.
We don't know, but if we can get them to make cards, I'll have them show the cards if their parents approve. But, you know, we'll see. Bye.
Okay, bye.